Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my photography shopping live stream where we go online together and look for deals on photography gear and accessories. And as always, I like to focus on gear for beginners along with some enthusiast deals. But I primarily look for tripods and filters, camera bags and backpacks, just sort of the core things that every photographer needs and looking for a good deal. And there are some really pretty good deals this week and some missed opportunities, unfortunately. You have to act really fast sometimes to get these deals. Like I saw a tripod this morning for $10, but by the time the stream started, they all sold out. So that said, I did find another interesting deal. um, so we'll get right into it. And disclosure, I'm an affiliate for Amazon and B&H and eBay and all these guys. So if you buy anything off my affiliate links down below, I will earn a commission. And it helps support the work that I do here. And it's really greatly appreciated. Uh, so my main deal page is just robtrek.com/deals. I also have another page for photography accessories under $20. That's robtrek.com/deal20. And again, those links are down below, as well as to B&H and some picks that I have for today. But also, if you have any questions or if you're looking for anything in particular, I'll be happy to help you find a good deal on something. So um, leave that in the chat section. But I see Jeff's here, Nick, and Siam is here. Very good to see you guys. Good morning. All right, let's go to my deal page and we'll start talking about some of the things. And then also memory cards. Now, I am starting to see a little bit of downward pressure on memory. I don't know if this is going to continue because I don't anticipate any significant drops in memory prices, until probably end of next year. But in the meantime, if you really need to add some memory to your, uh, your bag, these are the best deals I could find. So this first one here is for primarily Sony cameras. It's a CF Express Type A, 480 gig for $195. And this is a Type 4 CF Express, so it's the latest spec. No camera on the market really can support Type 4 yet. So you're going to run it at, the Type 2 speeds in camera. But this kind of future proofs you a little bit. And this is as good a deal as you're going to get on a Type 4. And, you can see that as indicated down here where it says 4. So, and this is made by SanDisk. Uh, oh crap. You know what? I missed the seller. So you have to be careful in the US. There could be a tariff added to this. Um, because I know a lot of countries, you guys already are kind of used to tariffs and build that into your pricing. But here in the US, this is more of a recent phenomenon that started last year. But, if yeah, wow, okay. So I'm gonna skip this one for for US buyers. I would skip this because I don't know what the tariff is going to be on this. Oh, I checked this because a lot of times I run across deals for lenses and then I see they're coming from Japan. And for US buyers, it's kind of an issue. Uh, kind of negates the deal that you get. Great way to start the stream, right? Anywho, this is a legit deal. $75 each. You get a pair of V60 cards, 128 gig. These are Lexars, the Silver Pro. So this is sort of their mid-tier memory card, but this is more than enough speed for uh, just about any application except the very highest bitrate videos, which really, you're only going to find in the video cameras like a GH7 or a couple of the Sonys. And but for just about everything else, particularly in photography, you're not going to have any issues, and you'll see a tremendous difference in your buffering performance. If you like to do continuous high-speed shutter, like in birding, sports action, wildlife, this is a well worth investment. And I can't recommend V60 enough. Now, some people go to V90. It's totally unnecessary for photography and only occasionally necessary in video. But if you have a camera that can handle high bitrate video, normally you're going to buy a CF Express card anyway. And you don't need to bother with these SD cards. But for photography, I don't know of any camera that will benefit from a V90. You're going to get the same exact speeds and buffering performance with a V60 card as you will with a V90. If there's any difference at all, it's going to be microseconds. I mean, it's barely measurable. So uh, just stick with the V60 cards and save a boatload of money, right? Okay, another one is I found these batteries here for $9. So if you shoot a Nikon, this is their EL15 batteries. These make just great backup batteries. You always want to use your OEM battery that came with the camera. Maybe have a second one that's an original, but these make great little backups to kind of push you through if you run out or you want to keep a couple of spares in your bag just in case. For $9, this is a great um, backup, right? And they charge directly through the USB-C, so you can charge them in your car or when you're out in the field with any kind of power bank. So if you shoot Nikon and you use the EL15s, this is a great deal. Okay, now talking about filters, the Haida filters, these are really top tier filters. They're going to have excellent coatings, minimal reflection, and you know, unparalleled sharpness, right? When you add these filters. And these are selling for more than half off their normal price. And these are, they're in various sizes. So make sure you get the right filter ring size. But 58 is and 67 are very popular ring sizes. I know the 58 fits on a lot of Micro Four Third lenses. And, you know, if you want a quality ND filter, these are ND1000s. So this will give you really good, uh, you could use these in broad daylight for longer exposures, particularly like waterfalls. Because a lot of times you'll find that ND64s are not going to quite cut it on most cameras. Uh, you really need to go to an ND1000 if you want to get the shutter speed down to 5 or 10 seconds in broad daylight, maybe longer if it's in the shade. Uh, but you need an ND1000. The ND64s and the lower, the brighter ND filters, those are primarily for like flash photography so that you can shoot wide open. These ND1000s are for the longer exposures. Now, this is not a solar filter where you're going to shoot the sun or anything like that, but definitely for long exposure daytime photography, which I've been experimenting with uh, this week. Okay. This is a great filter kit. If you need a circular polarizer, polarizers are just mandatory accessory for every photography for reducing reflections and increasing contrast. Uh, especially, like even in street photography, if you get a lot of reflections off glass, this will really minimize it quite a bit. It's pretty dramatic. And in this case, the 72 millimeter filter thread is on sale. Again, a very popular, uh, very popular ring size. So if you were looking for a direct on-camera or on-lens filter, for your lens, then you know, $9. And there's also a 1/4 black diffusion filter. The 1/4 is the size that I use and recommend. It's a black diffusion, so you still get very good contrast, but it reduces the speculars, particularly on skin, where you get that shine on the forehead and the nose and cheeks and things. It does help mitigate that quite a bit and soften those. So if you're a portrait photographer, I highly recommend this, and you really don't notice a lot of difference in sharpness, right? It really does a good job at maintaining good contrast, good sharpness, but reducing the specular highlights. So, and some people feel like lenses are too clinically sharp, and this just takes the edge off just a little bit. So I've used this at events in combination, with flash photography, and I really like the results that I got from a quarter filter, black diffusion quarter filter. This is a great deal. You get two filters for $9.49. Uh, Here's a 58 millimeter, the circular polarizer. You know, if you don't need the black diffusion, you can just buy this all by itself. Now I know it costs a little more, but this is a little bit higher tier CPL from Newer. I'm sorry. So you're going to get, again, minimal reflections, better contrast, et cetera, et cetera. Uh, so if you were looking for a decent, you know, polarizer in the 58 millimeter filter thread size, this is a pretty good deal. There's also some free item claim here. So be sure to add this when you buy the filter. Um, for example, I don't know how many people can really use this, other than some content creators that like to adapt regular microphones. But I'll give you an example. I ordered a uh, wireless radio trigger for my Fujifilm camera, and I got this for free along with it, just a little air blower from Newer. So this is commonly overlooked when people are buying things online. They don't click the free bonus item sometimes, or they don't click the coupon. So make sure you check that you've clicked the coupon and claimed your free item. Uh, you know, Speaking of which, I found a good deal on these. Uh, Let me just go to that real quick while we're talking about it. I ordered one today myself, another set of these, so I'm going to just put them in my bag. Um, as you can see, I just ordered it this morning. You get 5 of these for $3.24, and free shipping. Now, it said 8 left. I ordered one. Now it says 7 left. So this looks pretty accurate. So if you're ready, if you need this, I would jump on it now. And I'm finding that I've been doing like this long exposure and wide angle photography recently, doing a lot of fisheye and wide angle. And you have to shoot sometimes at very high apertures, and you can see tons of dust either on the lens or on the sensor itself. So I highly recommend this. Clean your sensors and your lenses, blow them off, get any loose dust off of them before you start doing wide angle and or long exposure photography. We do have dust removal tools now in a lot of our photo editing software, but there's no substitute for getting a clean image straight out of camera, right? Okay. So yeah, $3.24. There's just no reason not to get a set of these and just keep them in your bag, keep them in your car, whatever. Um, All right, so going back to the filters, we have a bunch more here from Earth. A lot of different sizes on sale. I put some of the more popular ones here, the 62, the 58, and the 37. The 37, and these are magnetic, and they come with the magnetic ring, I believe. Um, they should say it here. When I was reading it, it said it came with the, yeah, right here. Magnetic filters include a magnetic adapter ring. Uh, a lot of different sizes on sale, so check your filter thread size. And this is the ND1000, right? This is a top tier um, filter. So again, if you want a quality ND1000 filter, this is the way to go. The 62, did it? Oh, it went back up in price, but there's some other ones here. And that's actually not a bad deal. Let's look at the price history. Did this? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so they're just not saying it's on sale anymore. They just dropped the price down. If you look at, for one, for the past year, it's been selling for $79, and now it's down to $39.50. So this is a good deal. Uh, and if you have this on, Alexa or whatever on your Amazon, check the 1 year price and see how often it fluctuates. This one doesn't fluctuate at all, right? It's pretty stable, and then they just drop the price. You never know when they're going to drop. It's going to go back up, though. So I would get this. All right, and then let's see. There is this one here is like the 14 to 42 kit lens. Let me just double check. I believe the 37 millimeter. I bought one for my kit lens because I like it. It's hard to find filters for your kit lens. Um, Let me just check real quick. Yeah, the 14 to 42, the Panasonic 12 to 32, and the Olympus 45 millimeter f1.8. Um, so if you want to do flash photography, like portrait photography with your um, kit lens, and I've done it, or very popular is to use the 45 millimeter 1.8. You can now put a native or a filter that'll fit right on the ring threads of that lens. So I bought one of these, not the Earth brand, because they were $75 probably when I was looking at them. And this is great. 3 to 7 stops. This is a really good range for doing. So you can shoot your lens wide open outdoors with flash. Balance your ambient light, all that stuff. So if you're a portrait photographer, uh, or you want to get into portrait photography, there's lots of videos uh, on using ND filters and portrait photography. So this is a great deal. Quality filter for your 45 or your 14 to 42 or 12 to 32 kit lens. It's really hard to find 37 millimeter filters sometimes, especially in this quality. All right, and then there's a bunch of there's a bunch of lenses on sale. So I pulled out a few here. This one here, this Tamron 18 to 300. It's coming from Adorama, so it's going to be, come with the warranty and everything because Adorama's a dealer for Tamron. They're throwing in a backpack, lens cleaner, a filter set. I don't know exactly what filter set. Looks like a CPL, ND, and a UV. Uh, a little strap. Looks like a wrist strap. So, and a lens cleaning kit for $649. You're getting all of this. So if you shoot Fujifilm, This for the Fuji. I think there's other mounts at the same sale price, but yeah, the Sony one is on sale also at this price point. But most APS shooters are the Fujifilm. But either way, this is an incredible deal. It's a great lens. It's as good as you're going to get with an 18 to 300, something with a super zoom, super, telephoto or whatever. It's a great all-purpose lens. One lens that does it all. And then for those of you a little bit more serious, you don't want to carry a bunch of primes around. You can just carry this 28 to 75 2.8 with minimal compromise. It's going to be bigger than carrying a bunch of primes, but uh, yeah, this is an amazing deal. $6.99. This lens goes on sale actually quite often. But, if you miss the window, you might be waiting 30, 60, 90 days before it goes on sale again. So this is the window now to get it on sale again at $6.99. It was on sale last month for like $7.99. If we check the price history, it may not be reflected by this particular page, but yeah, it was $7.99 last month. But you can see see what I mean about these windows? It goes from, $7.99 to $6.99, $7.99 to $6.99. There was a little dip here, probably for whatever reason, some special, but generally speaking, uh, this lens goes on sale, like I said, on and off for $6.99. This is the window. Okay, this is an interesting lens. They got great reviews. Seven Art or TT Artisan uh, offered this to me at the time, but I really didn't have a Nikon Z, an L mount, or a Fujifilm. I didn't have any of these cameras. I did have a Sony, but I don't know. Whatever reason, at the time I declined reviewing this lens, but I did look at a lot of other reviews for this lens, and it's stellar. It's a stellar lens for this price, so I'm thinking about buying it now for my Canon. I'm debating either for my Canon or for my Sony because tilt shift lenses, while the it's a very niche product. A lot of architectural photographers use this, and if you look at the examples they give, they're all architectural type examples. But I am finding that when I'm shooting super wide angle, you lose a lot of clarity. And sharpness in the corners because of all the barrel distortion that has to be corrected in camera. And if you're going to throw on top of that perspective distortions like keystoning, it only amplifies the problem that already exists with wide angle lenses. So being able to correct the focal plane and shoot wider or taller with a tilt shift lens can make a dramatic difference in the overall image quality. And this is why I'm considering this lens, because I do enjoy wide angle photography. 17 millimeters, of course, is very wide for full frame cameras. The only problem I have with this filter or this lens is I can't put any filters on it because of the bulbous lens. So that is something that is kind of holding me back on this a little bit personally, because I do like to do long exposure photography as well. And I want to get a wide angle lens that I can do long exposure with. And this would not fix that problem, but it will fix the other problem I have with losing pixels on the edges. All right, there's decent tripod here for $24. You can do a lot worse. They have a $19 one that I've been promoting for a long time. These are great budget tripods. If you don't have a tripod or you want a spare that you can just keep in the car in case you don't want to bring your good one or forget to bring your good one, This is a really good deal, so either one, uh, it's basically an all metal legs, metal legs, the clips and stuff are plastic, but the metal ball head, you can do a lot worse at this price. Also has monopod capabilities, so I like it. I like that deal. And there's the bulb deal. These lenses, I just about everything from here I've talked about before, except a couple of things, but great deals on these lenses as well. Typically, these are, here's a Nikon full frame 50 millimeter for $89. Great lens. A couple of APS-C lenses, f2.8s. Okay, this will give you about a 40 millimeter field of view, great for street photography. They're available in different mounts. Um, this one is for Fujifilm, comes in black and silver. This is the Nikon one, right? Here it is for $69. So definitely a great lens for APS shooters. Um, and basically this is a renewed lens, refurbished in excellent condition. This is about the going price for a used lens, but if you can get one that's refurbished and uh, that is should be in excellent condition, but also has a very liberal return policy. If you have any problems, they have a 90-day refund. Um, and this is a great, like I said, this is a great wide angle lens for micro four thirds, but also it takes filter threads. So I really, if you want to do long exposure or wide angle photography, this is one of the few lenses at this price point that you can do that with. Okay, and then I found these two bags here. This one here, this is a very small, like everyday camera bag. You can see here, it really only has two dividers in there. But sometimes what I would do is, a lot of times I'll have the camera around my neck and then I'll just have a couple lenses and flashes in a small bag on my side. So this is a great way to travel really light, minimalist, keep a couple of spare batteries for $6.49. And then the Mosiso backpack, this backpack goes on, the going price for this backpack is about 50 bucks to $55. Uh, so if you don't mind the blue color, 29.49. This is a great backpack, hard shell. Lots of dividers. The dividers alone will cost you 30 bucks, you know. Um, so maybe you really like the blue color, but yeah, this is a great deal. 29.49. I've never seen this bag at this price. I didn't check the 30-day price. But yeah, you can see time to time it'll dip like this, right? Down to about 50 bucks. But it's never been 29.49. So I thought this was a particularly good deal for this backpack. And it's on the smaller side, lightweight, which is perfect for micro four thirds shooting. And then of course a bunch of other bags here. This one I want to reiterate. This used to be like a $300 bag. If you check the price history on this, you go back 1 year, you can see this hit 300 bucks a few times, but it hovered right around about $240 for the longest time. And now they're just clearing them out for $51. You just cannot beat that. So this is going to be a very, I've heard, this is I would say this is a mid-tier brand, certainly above the Mosisus and all the others in terms of the quality of materials and construction. This is going to be a very, very good bag for $51. Lots of dividers, lots of openings here. Very rugged canvas, not canvas, but very rugged, what do you call this? What do they call it? My brain is not working today. They don't even say. Anyway, uh, yeah, you're if you know you're gonna really like this bag, I think, uh, for $51. I just have so many backpacks now that I just don't need another one. And it's funny, I just watched Jimmy Chang's video this morning about gas, and oh my God, I can so relate to that. A bunch of other stuff here. Again, I've talked about all of this stuff in last week's stream. I just want to highlight a couple others. Here's some budget 58 millimeter filters. Check these out. ND filter. This is a variable ND filter. Uh, I think this has a shipping cost with it though, but oh, and actually that's with free delivery. And this is a 2 to 2000, so 11 stops. Now, this you have to be a little careful on super wide angle lenses. You'll get some vignetting or an X-cross pattern. It's just inevitable with these wide angle lenses and variable filters that have this kind of range. But it gets the job done. It gets the job done if you're not going to use it on a super wide angle. Let's say you're going to use it on a more normal lens like a 50 millimeter equivalent or 35. You're going to be fine. It's just on the hyper super wide angles that you just have to be careful. You may not be able to dial in the full 2000, ND 2000 uh, darkening, but uh, this is a great deal no matter how you slice it. So if you're on a budget and you want to experiment with long exposure photography, this is the cheapest point of entry that is still very high quality. This is a little bit more of a kit with a polarizer and ND9 filter. This is primarily for flash. You're not going to get much, uh, you're not going to be able to do long exposure photography with an ND9, but it'll help in flash photography. So UV filter in there and a warming filter. I don't really care about those, but $5. Okay, this memory card, uh, if you need a CF Express Type B, this is an amazing deal. I bought 3 of these. I sold one to a friend, at the price I paid. I didn't, overcharge him, but um, I tested these. He tested his and his Nikon Z8 with video and continuous shooting and everything. I know it, so I'm sorry for the noise. Uh, and I tested these myself to make sure the capacity was right because I got an email from Gary this morning. I just kind of skimmed it. I didn't really read it yet, but he was talking about getting fake memory cards off eBay. I bought these myself and tested them because I could not believe the price. I paid $25 for each one, and it was like a $5 shipping fee. So basically, I paid $30 each for a 256 gig CF Express card. And these tested faster than my Angel Bird cards that I paid last year. Or 2 years ago, I paid $130 for. But that same card now sells for like $400 or $500. And these are faster than that. Um, I do have, yeah, this is the test I ran. So this is my Angel Bird card. And you can see that it topped out at this. And this is the Ritz card that I paid $25 for. So it's about 10% faster across the board. Um, and like I said, my friend, I gave one to my friend to try in his Nikon Z8 for birding, video, all kinds of stuff. And after a couple of weeks, he said, "I'll buy it." And I sold it to him. That one I paid like $60 for, which was still an incredible deal. when it dropped down. So what you have to do is go ahead and bookmark my page, robtrek.com/deals, and scroll down and check that price. Check that price, okay? Uh, because it fluctuates. Sometimes it's $87. Sometimes it's like I saw it down to $38 the other day, and it goes in and out of stock. So, amazing. One other one other deal. I don't. Hopefully, I was showing this page when I was showing. I don't know if. So that was the Angel Bird. This is the Ritz card. Okay. Let me go back to. And one other thing I found. Where is it? Here it is. The GX85. This was on sale last week for under 600, but right now it's 600. There's one left. Oh, crap. It's not brand new anymore. It was brand new. This is a used one. That's why it says out of stock. I have to take this off my page. Um, Dang it. I thought it was on sale again, but I'll take this off my page. Um, yeah, don't buy that used for 600 bucks. Anyhow, that's the main deals that I had for today. So let me go to the chat section, and I gotta delete this first though. I go on my own page almost every day and add and delete things. So come back time to time and check it to see if there's anything I added recently, because the deals go fast. Like that camera, that G85 was brand new under 600 bucks, but it's gone now. So you could have bought it brand new for the same price they're trying to sell it used, basically. But I do add things, add and subtract things, not daily, but every couple days I do it. So every couple days, check and see if there's a good deal. Particularly that memory card if you need a CF Express Type B. It's the Type B, so that fits like in the Canon, Nikons, and Fujis. All right, so hello, Jeff. Good to see you. And Nick Crawford, always good to see you. Simon, good morning. Siam, I'm sorry, Siam. I noticed sellers put a price. Many eBay sellers put a price on tariffs added. It's good to check the seller directly. Yes, good practice. I have bought things that said the tariff is included, and when it came in, I didn't pay anything extra. So the one or two things that I bought from Japan, I forget what it is, probably a lens. I think it was my 60 millimeter macro lens I bought from Japan for 300. And I was worried about the tariff, but it said tariffs were included. So I rolled the dice. I said, well, 300 bucks is a good deal. Even if I pay another 10 or 15 or 20%, I'll be okay. But I didn't. So I ended up getting a really good deal on a 60 macro. And Henning, good to see you. It says, let's be inspired of all things that are Bible in the US, but not here in Germany. Oh, sorry. And how do you all, hello all. Do you actually ever fiddle with the circular polarizer? I put it on and everything. Yeah, you do need to adjust it to get the maximum effect. I mean, it's always going to be polarizing, right, by its nature. Uh, Generally, it works best when the sun is not coming directly into the lens. If the light is already directly coming straight in, the polarizer is not going to do anything. The polarizer works best when the light is off to the side at a 45, 90-degree angle. Then you'll see a dramatic difference in the polarizing effect for skies. Now for foliage, like let's say it was raining and you got a lot of foliage or waterfall and there's a lot of water spray, uh, that's scattering light in all directions, right? And that's where a polarizer works really well. And then when I made the street photography reference, particularly like, large glass windows you run across buildings time to time, they're all at different angles as well and reflecting light at different angles. So the polarizer works really well for that. Uh, Another really good application, if you take pictures of cars, a lot of times you get huge reflections off the hood and especially the windshield, and it can make a dramatic difference. So that's probably the best place to start, excuse me, because you're not always have access to a waterfall and the sky. It's a little bit harder to tell, but you'll see the skies and the clouds get a little darker when you have the polarizer dialed in just right. But if you go to a car, particularly cars that are darker colors like black, reds, whatever, dark colors, and the windshields, just go up to a car and rotate the polarizer, and you can see the effect it has on the windshield and the hood and the reflections and everything. And it can make a dramatic difference in your car photography or any kind of anything that has shiny paint like that. So that's a good place to practice because you can just probably walk out your front door and there's a car there, right? And you'll see the difference that a polarizer will make. And then when you go to a waterfall or you want to change the sky, you now have a feel for when the polarizer is having its maximum effect. Yes, very few 37 millimeter filters. True. Is Earth better than Haida? No, I would say they're equivalent. They're equivalent brands. I think Haida's been around longer, so I would have to give the edge to Haida for longevity. But yeah, you're going to be fine either way. And those little blows are always getting lost in my bag. Great to have one in each bag. Yes, exactly. That's why I bought 5 more for $3, right? And good morning, Giuseppe. Good to see you. And did you see OM Refurb OM3 for 1280? I did not see that today. I have seen it in the past. That's a pretty good deal. Um, Probably on eBay, right? Because that's where OM System sells uh, their refurbished cameras. You know, the OM3 is not for everyone, but for those that it is perfect. It's my perfect camera, just about. I mean, it does everything I want it to do, and it's the camera I use the most. Yeah, it's right there. I just love it. I love it. I'm anxious to see what's going to come out on September 9th, though. What OM System's going to announce. Like I said in my last term, I think it's going to be a pen. Well, we'll see. Not a pen F, but a pen. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Jeff. 99 cents to be a member. It's another way to support, the work that I do, and it's all greatly appreciated. Um, Anyhow, I did buy a couple of things. Let me see. Where is it? I've been reorganizing. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the back here is a little bit different. I bought these cases uh, that close so don't get dust on everything because some of those cameras sit there for a long time and they just collect dust. So I got these basically they're shoe boxes, but they're plastic. And anyhow, so I'm trying to reorganize everything here. Everything is sealed up now so that they're not just sitting out collecting dust. So I bought that. I also bought, where is it? I don't know. I can't remember half the things I buy anymore. Oh, I bought this radio. I know I talked about, it's not photography related, but I had been shopping radios and I got this thing. I don't know if I can get it in the frame, but this is a really, really cool radio. It's a Sharp. clock radio, and it has the vacuum fluorescent display that I really wanted. Um, and it sounds okay. I mean, it's pretty good for what it is, but it's an awesome sort of retro future from the 1980s, I think it was made. Let me see if I can find a good picture of it. I'm so proud of this deal. This is a $300 radio, but I got it for like, with shipping, I paid 60 bucks. Uh, and we can check out the eBay refurb while we're on eBay. We're a Sharp 52. So this is it here. I just love this. It reminds me a little bit of like Space 1999. Remember the command center and all the controls they had? But there's something really nice about this radio. Look at all the switches and dials, right? It's just like I like my cameras. Uh, Lots of buttons and dials, physical buttons. The problem with a lot of radios and things that you buy today, the buttons are so tiny. I don't know what the heck I'm clicking anymore, you know? So I like the flip locks or the flip switches there and the dials. And I love the vacuum fluorescent display. Fortunately, mine, the one that I got, because they can wear out after about 10 or 20 years. Fortunately, mine have not worn out. Looks like they still got plenty of life in them. But yeah, this is what I got. I paid, like I said, about 60 bucks for mine. And then there is let's see if that refurb deal is still, where's my, here it is. That's a pretty good deal, but it's probably gone. Yeah. Whenever the OM3 goes on sale, um, and I have a link to my OM System Refurbished page down below as well. But we can take a look at a couple of, so you can click on my link down below, and if you buy anything off this page, you can buy this new for $279. So I would do that rather than buy a used one. That's not a bad deal for a little kit lens, and this is the power zoom version. For 300 more, you can get the OM10 Mark IV. This camera is really old, but it still does a good job for basic things. Like you could do live comp. I'll give you an example. Um, the This shot here, you could do with the EM10 Mark IV. It's basically live comp with an ND64 filter. And this is about a 10-minute exposure. I'm just guessing. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was around 10 minutes. And you get a really nice, really surreal looking shot. I showed this in my Sunday stream when I talked about this, so I won't get into it too much more. But if you get the EM10 Mark IV with this kit lens and that 37mm filter that I showed earlier, and then use live comp, you can do photography like that. Very long exposure photography uh, for very cheap. I mean, you're talking with taxes and everything, maybe 600 bucks. You get a camera lens that can do a lot. Where this is lacking, of course, is it's it it's not an OM1. Okay, let's just leave it at that. But yeah, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal. Let's see. That's not bad. This, of course, is a no-brainer. Always buy the 40 to 150 kit lens. I use that lens a lot. I'd probably pass on this. It's a great lens, but man, that's kind of pricey for what it is. For that kind of money, I'd rather buy the 12 to 45 or the 12 to 40 f2.8. I get it, this is very compact, but in practical terms, it's not it's not really wide enough for wide field astro. So I don't know why you need an f2 in a lens like that. At least for me, it's just not a lens I use much. I sold mine. I had it for a long time, but I said, I got a 12 to 40 f2.8. Why do I need a 12 millimeter f2, right? If it was wide enough to do astro, then I would have kept it, but it really wasn't. Yeah, that's about it. I don't see anything else I would really buy off of this. Yeah, I would buy this. This is a great lens. So these three items right here. This I would just buy brand new it's on sale for 279. I'd probably pass on this. Although if you need weather sealing, this is a good way to go, but I've seen it for less on the used market. Yeah, I'd pass on this. Great lens, but just not practical. Uh 17, I'd pass on that. Just get the 17-1.8 unless you're doing paid work, right? And then yes, eBay sold out in a day, I believe it. Am I into DXing? No, I am not. Uh, yeah, you're addicted to shortwave. A lot of the radios back in the day came with shortwave. Well, I guess they still do. I would not buy a vintage radio for shortwave. They have really, really good radios now for shortwave, where you can actually enjoy the shortwave part of it. But technically, you can do everything through internet radio now, right? If you want to listen to shortwave, I get it. It's not the same, right? You just tune in, you just go on the internet shortwave radio and uh, you can listen. It's not the same experience as using a vintage radio or even a modern dedicated radio for shortwave. But I never got into it. I was thinking about it. Some viewer recommended, it might have been you. Somebody recommended a really good radio. No, it wasn't you. It was another guy or gal. I'm not sure. Recommended a really good radio. I had it in my frickin' uh, Amazon list. Let me see if I can find it. I don't see it anymore. Maybe it's under. Dang it. I accidentally deleted that list. I was keeping a list of like vintage radios and stuff, but I remember I accidentally deleted it when I was trying to edit the deal page. And then I went back and looked at all my lists. I said, okay, I don't need this one anymore, this one. And then I accidentally deleted the wrong one. Yeah, it's not. Dang it. I'm mad at myself for deleting that list. I had some really cool radios in there. Oh, here it is. This is supposed to be a really good radio. It doesn't have shortwave though. Oh, there it is. Yeah, shortwave. Uh, for 80 bucks. I'm thinking about buying this one. Some viewer recommended this to me. So there's that. And then I found this is a really cool looking clock if you're into retro. I like that one. And then there was yeah, the rest of this stuff is just you can find. If you're not into radios, you're not going to care about any of this. Apparently the new release is indeed a pen. True, it's tough to get SW signals without noise these days. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard. Uh, but yeah, I don't, they've been talking about the pen line since day one, since they became OM Systems. They said, we're considering the pen line, we're considering the pen line. So here we are 4 or 5 years later, it's like, how could it not be a pen? The question is, how advanced are they going to make it? Are they just going to repackage the OM5 Mark II into a pen body, which would be fine, really, but it's going to get a lot of hate because of that, right? Uh, and if it's priced around for less than the OM5 Mark II, I'll probably get one. I'll probably get one if it's priced less than an OM5 Mark II. If it has the same OM5 Mark II guts, because the OM5 Mark II is a tiny camera as it is. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see either way. Okay. Anyway, I hit all the deals I need to hit. I didn't talk about B&H though. I have a link down below to the Tokina lenses, but they're having a really good um, deal on Tokina lenses at B&H. Let me just show you a couple of those. So I just typed in Tokina lens, but I have my affiliate link down below if you want to use that. But 11 to 16 APS-C lens, $299. 11 to 20, this is also APS-C, but there was some full frame lenses in here. Like this one, 20 millimeter f2, 279. That's for Sony. I saw this lens on sale somewhere else. 390, yeah, here it is. 399 Sony macro lens. I mean, and this is an awesome lens. I mean, when you get 4.5-star review on B&H, you know that's legit. Here's a great wide angle lens I was considering. A 17 to 35 f4 for I'd probably get this in a Canon EF mount so I can adapt it to my Canon, but actually it may not be bad for my Nikon. I have a Nikon F mount. Um, because this takes filter threads. This has a filter thread on it, so I can get my wide angle with a filter. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about this. Because the widest angle I have on my Micro Four Thirds right now is 12 millimeters, which is a 24 millimeter equivalent. I can get the 17 millimeter and use a filter. And I think it, let's see. There's a 16. Anyway, these Tokina lenses, there's a lot of good deals in here if you just kind of pan down. Or use my affiliate link down below and you'll see. Okay, now I'm done with the deals. Let's see. What was special about the pen series before my time? Just that it was compact. I have one here. Let me just grab it to refresh my memory a bit. I have the original film pen. Where's my where's my regular pen? I thought I put it right here. Oh, I hid it way back in the back here. All right. So I have here the original Olympus pen camera. And then here is my Olympus pen. Let me back up a little. Pen EPL 8. They're roughly about the same size. I mean, the original pen is just a hair smaller, right? Just a hair smaller, a couple of millimeters in any direction, right? Actually, it's about the same thickness too, right? But this has a little EVF or optical viewfinder, and this shoots vertical. Uh, but here's my pen PL8. Had a really nice pull down screen like that for selfies, and then of course it can tilt up and down. Um, so a lot of photographers liked the tilting screen, right? 'Cause it tilt up and down all the way back to fully forward, and almost 90 degrees this way. And as you can see, it's very compact, right? Uh, and it did everything really. It had the live comp, it had the art filters, it had some of the computational stuff. I don't think it had the focus. It didn't have focus stacking, but it did have focus bracketing. I mean, it's fully loaded in a very, very compact form. So that's what was so popular about it. So if they bring this back with the OM5 Mark II guts and can price this under $1,000, I'm going to buy one. I mean, it's just, I don't know why, just gas, right? Just like Jimmy was talking about this morning. Uh, but yeah, so I think that's what made it special is people really liked just a regular tilt screen uh, and how compact it is, but yet it's fully loaded. It had some limitations in video. It didn't do video quite as good as, the OM5 or the EM5 at the time, or even as good as the EM10. I forget what the limitation was, something to do with frame rates or something. It had a few limitations. It was dumbed down a little bit, but for the most part, it was fully capable of doing everything you wanted it to do. I don't use this camera much anymore because I bent the screen. You can see it doesn't quite sit flush. Well, not from that angle. It doesn't sit quite flush on the body anymore. And I haven't figured out a way to bend it back. I tried a couple of times with some pliers to get it right, but I just couldn't get it to bend back. And it takes a beating. It had a nice metal body to it, but you can see here I have a big ass dent in it. But it still works. Still works fine. So I think people are looking for little small cameras like this, just like just like this. My old Olympus pen. I have an Olympus Pen F as well, film version. Look at the dial on the top of this. Isn't that cool? It's kind of analog. That's the film counter, I believe. But Okay, and it works. Oops. This and this the solenoid on this, I believe, is still good. But yeah, it's kind of a pain to use by today's standards. Yeah, Penf's successor, I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Uh, if it is, we'll see what it is. But if they repackage an OM3 into a rangefinder style, I know just about every Olympus enthusiast will buy one. I don't know how many they'll sell to the general market, but it'll be interesting to see. It'll get a lot of hype. It'll get a ton of hype on YouTube. I know that. And that doesn't always translate into real world sales. Uh, I mean, as much as I want a Pen F Mark II, I've just got that out of my system. I said they're not going to do it. They're gonna come out with something like this, but with OM5 Mark II guts is my strong belief. Very strong. But we're very close now, right? Couple of weeks. Couple of weeks we'll find out. And pen series were generally small but capable bodies with charming style. Most were quite affordable besides the Pen F, which was more of a premium. The Pen F has become a cult classic, yes. And oh, Eric's here. Hey, good to see you, Eric. Or Intrigue, I'm sorry, Intrigue is here. I always confuse you guys. You and Eric have the same, almost same icon. Of course, with my dying eyes, they all look pretty much the same. All the little emoji icon things. What do you call it? Your avatar. Your avatar looks very similar. Um, but yeah, this is a great little camera. Just I just prefer my OM3 now because it does everything. Oh, the lens probably a 45 1/8 weather sealed, or uh, if they want a lens to go with it, okay, let's make an assumption that it's going to be a pen, right? Then I don't know. I can't even imagine. Maybe a Pancake 17, 17 millimeter f2.8. They used to have one. Uh, that would be my guess. A 17 millimeter Pancake lens. If it's not the 45 1.8 weather sealed, then it'll probably be the because they're not going to design a new lens from scratch, in my opinion. They're just going to repackage an existing lens design, which is a lot easier to do. So I imagine those are my two best guesses: a 45 weather sealed or a Pancake 17. What do you think? I bet a lot of people would be excited about a Pancake 17, even if it's like an f2.8 or an f3.5, something like that. Maybe an f3.5. I forget what the original Pancake 17 was. Olympus 17. Let me put 2.8 and see. Yeah, this lens. Wow, $164. That's pretty good. I might just get that myself. No. I don't need another 17. What's the filter thread size? All right, so this also has the 37 millimeter filter thread size. So kit lens. So I have a good polarizer. I don't think I have an ND though. I do have an ND. I have an ND and a polarizer for at this size. Oh wow, can you imagine if they came out with a pen with that 17 on it as a kit for like $1,000 and it looks this good? I mean, this is my favorite version, the PL8 in terms of styling, but yeah, take my money if they come out with that. And I just love, everything is metal here. All the buttons, are the buttons metal? Maybe not. But yeah, I love the buttons on here. Everything about this camera is beautiful. Beautiful metal dials. Just, I got that giant ding in the side. If I get a new pen, I might give this away. I don't know. I'll probably give this away because it works. It's just a little bit, like I said, the screen is just doesn't sit tight. All right. We'll call it here, I guess. If there's no other questions or comments, if you guys aren't looking for anything in particular, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Uh, and I'll be back on Friday for my photo editing, and then Sunday for the normal photo chat. And I want you guys to have a great day. Try to do that every day. You'll have a good life and eat healthy and exercise. I want us all to be together a long time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.